kind of weird.
Yeah,
so maybe that alleviates the weirdness.
You can get some paracord and stuff. That's good. It's really lightweight. You don't feel the cable at all, but I don't know what that is. Anyway, there's more pressing issues here. Fnatic on the T side of Train North on the CT side, and only 3 grenades in the entire round at the beginning, and it's going to be all on Fnatic as they choose to rush into the B-bomb site. And with that P250, it's not finding its mark. Gade, can he do any better? No.
Double raid boss for Fnatic, 2 armored P250 players, and we'll see if the extra armor piercing will help if they can't find the headshots. 4 versus 5 for North as they try to retake. Soon to be 3. Yuga gets exploded face first. 3 remaining players, Kevlar, but no kit for the likes of North. Valde creeping by the smoke, but Fnatic have backed off a little bit. They're not all on the bomb site. A number of them playing down the ramp, a number of them getting taken out, and Brand's there as well. Twist gets taken out. He takes out Valde, excuse me. So it's a 3 versus 2 for the time being. No one's touching the bomb, so Fnatic aren't too concerned just yet. They are both in the same place, so they can go for the wide peek. AZ holding the bomb, AZ getting taken out. Now Twist can go wide. There's nothing Javi can do. There's no time. All he can do is become a victim.
Yeah, great round from Twist. He got 4 kills there, locking it down. And also Fnatic, they were quite fortunate. I think they lost like almost like 200, something like 250 damage. Yet no one died within all of that damage. It was spread across all of the players. They managed to maintain 5 players for a very long time. So yeah, good work from them. And that's the start you want on Train. You know, the problem with playing CT side on Train is if you don't get your economy going quickly, it really can feel very awful, honestly, because you can't get the AWPs going, and maybe when you get those first AWPs, maybe you don't have the optimal utility. You haven't got that flow for your CT side just yet, and you know, everything just feels uncomfortable. And so that's really where part of the position North will be playing from, and they have some decisions to make here. They can absolutely go for a force buy. Force buys are really good on the CT side of this map, and also you want to get your ops out ASAP. You don't want to do a full save and then just have M4s. Like if you're going to have a buy round, get the ops out. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see a force.
First, we will see a technical pause before we continue. So hopefully it is resolved soon. They're all looking down at the end at one of their teammates. So maybe the issue is with him.
I haven't seen those Bose headphones before, by the way. They look cool.
Yeah, I was wondering about them. They did look nice. They just released an upgrade to their noise-cancelling ones for us travelers. Battle between Bose and Sony for the best noise-cancelling headsets at the moment. Over-ears for planes. I can see Fnatic, they got the OnePlus sponsorship on the jerseys. That's pretty cool because, I mean, OnePlus is a brand which doesn't really, you know, they try to cut costs by not having too much advertising. But at the same time, like esports has one of the strongest demographics that pretty much every advertiser wants. The traditional sports are not, they don't have retention with younger people, which is partly why they're buying esports teams, for example, just like North are owned by a Danish football club.
And a cool thing for me with OnePlus as well is that I had the very first one. I got in on one of those first couple waves of invites. I've been loyal since, James.
And what has it got you? It's got you nothing.
It's got me phones that are
should have bought an iPhone.
As good as flagship phones for like 30 to 50% of the cost. Anyways.
Wow, look at that Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
There's a lot of different colors going on there. It's a bit too much for me.
I like it. You need some color in your life.
I prefer some consistency, just one strong color along the whole thing.
Ooh, 3 scouts. Yes.
AZ peaks up top. There's a UMP down below as well with Valde.
Oh no, James. I've got a feeling Fnatic are going to get absolutely wrecked by the scouts because it looks like they're very spread out. You do not want to be spread out when you're playing against scouts like this because this happens. One guy gets tagged, then another guy gets tagged, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, maybe we should move into a bomb site. But already too much damage has been done. Yeah.
It's rough as well if that happens with the choke points. If you decide, okay, let's just go away and spam flashes over the top, people with CZs and UMPs and things like that are going to be the ones who clean up after those tags come through.
I really want them to go back towards the classic sort of B anti-force buy, just because. So there's a couple of different ways you can play the force buy. Obviously, you know, you can decide between B and A, and there's lots of different ways to do either bomb side. But B, you can get the bomb down quickly. And once you get the bomb down in a force against a force buy, they have significant issues. And getting to the plant on B is much easier than it is on A. And so perhaps that is the case for Fnatic, that they're going to be going for that, but they just want to spend a lot of the early round making sure that if North are going to do something a bit untoward, that they can catch it.
Seems with the flashbangs towards B, they wanted to pull rotation in that direction. There is going to be a flank from the B bomb site. In the meantime, that is a really important pick-off, taking the CZ out of play. And they've done a great job. They haven't lost a single person just yet. And now Valde and AZ, like, what can you really get out of this by pursuing some frags? They will want to hold on to what they can. Crims is eliminated by AZ, and he will rotate his position. So that is a disaster avoided by Fnatic. They came together on the A-bomb site after showing some presence towards B. Kept it simple enough.
Yeah, that was really nice. One of the things that worked out so well there was that they were able to coordinate very well. Like, it was as though all 4 players hit from different angles at the same time. And that tends to be the struggle sometimes for certain teams. And usually that is a struggle when the other team can slow you down by holding an angle you didn't expect or by throwing some counter utility. But of course, North didn't have too much. Well, they didn't really have any counter utility. So Fnatic showing a good coordination into the A-bomb side. Good work from them to avoid what could have been a really disastrous round if those scouts had had too much more freedom. But Fnatic did not allow that. So North, they'll have to go for a full save now, and then we'll see the AWPs and the full buy in the following round. So at this point, it's going to expectation. There you go, you see the full save. 3 tasers, and just the saved Kevlar and Scout on AZ.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, it was there, James. There was opportunity.
It was almost there. It was almost there. That's a tease. Nothing doing. JW not shy to pursue. Got to be careful about the bullets, though. He keeps enough in the bag, and he goes for the wide peek. He did. Down to 6 HP, and there's a no-scope from AZ. You love to see it. Can be more consistent with a scout than other weapons. The auto sniper is the only things that compare, really. All right, then. We've got some USPs and a scout to try and do more damage. 2 kills is not too shabby, all things considered. Make it 3 lovely flick from AZ, but he jumps. The hang time is too much. And he'll get slam dunked by Crims. But it's a 1 versus 2. Even with a USP, maybe there is something he can do. Maybe he gets a 1 versus 1. Maybe they don't hear where he shoots from. So many other places to look. They are not showing to Ivy, and that's why he stops planting. But Twist can't figure it out. On the low ground already, Valde. He's got time to play with. He needs some cover, though. He won't get it in time. 4 kills in that eco round. That is huge for North.
Yeah, man. AZ just ravaging Fnatic. 3 scout headshots. Beautiful. Actually, no, 2 scout headshots. One of those no-scope to the chest.
To the chest.
So, yeah, fantastic stuff from AZ there. And that's the danger of the scouts on train, man. They can really be wild. And that's going to be so helpful. North, of course, they'll lose the round, but they've done a good chunk of economic damage there that they were unable to do in previous rounds. So that will keep Fnatic somewhat honest, but the AWP on Yugi is finally out. We can start to see AZ rushing towards Pop Dog, and Fnatic playing a slower timing, so they won't catch him running there from connector. Sorry, from T connector. Or T main. There you go. Got there in the end. And AZ will be forced back after some utility has been dumped towards that Pop Dog position, or the ladder room, depending on your region.
Going through the smoke, the answer is yes, but they're stuck in the choke point. They don't move beyond that, and that's a problem. Brian goes down for free, and this is not a good round for Fnatic, is it? Gator gets taken out by Exist, but it's a 2 versus 4. They're isolated, the smoke is still up. The flash doesn't go deep enough. Exist can surely be heard in default. Down to 20 HP. Valde is getting taken out. Now, can Fnatic do more? Apparently they can. 2 versus 4 to 2 versus 2. All of a sudden, everything is focused on North now. Big pressure for them. They don't have a kit on these 2 players. They need to take out Exist soon. They've gone from 2 versus 4 to a 2 versus 1. Kiabi.
Oh my God.
They have a Molotov as well, and even better position. How on earth have they done that? We had 3 players go for a smoke, get stuck in the choke point, and get wiped out. But Fnatic still find a way to delete North.
Well, the way they did that was hitting some great shots, sure, but the constant repositioning and playing against the expected position, so they knew where Exist was because he planted the bomb. But JW gets that first kill down lower ramp, he goes all the way back up to the top position very quickly, gets an instant kill, rotates all the way back down, gets another kill, and then pushes all the way past the train. It's just beautiful repositioning from both players, constant repositioning. It's almost like as though there were twice the amount of Fnatic players than there actually were. Absolutely beautiful. And that's going to be really upsetting for North here. Vardy will try to do what he can with a 5-7 push. And it looked like he may have had the element of surprise there, but the Crims will react very well and shut that aggression down, leaving North with 4 players, of course. AZ on the scout. Hopefully he can do more for North with that. And Twist. Oh, that is just stunning stuff. What entries from him. Leaving just Yugi and Gade with the Deagles.
That was a nice little situation from Twist. He heard the sound cues from the player further back, but didn't allow that to distract him too much from the potential of a player close up. Takes them both out. And with the way North lost the first map and the way this map has started, you do wonder if they're ever going to turn up in this one, or if they're completely dejected. It's a good start from Gade in this, but he's 1 versus 5 or 4 now with the Desert Eagle. He'll try and smoke off the weapon to collect it, but I think it's bounced back and maybe gone too far. So he'll have to give up on that one.
I think rounds like that previous one, the way that Fnatic won that 2v4, I think that is really telling because Fnatic are absolutely a momentum-based team. You know, if they start performing well like that, you have those individuals creating clutches in that way. That is a huge tell as to how the performance is going to be overall. And as you say, James, I feel you there. If North get a bad start, they're going to be feeling dejected more quickly just because they've never felt like they've got going in this entire series. They've never really had that moment where it's like, okay, we feel like we're playing well. They never had that moment where even one player has had a huge clutch. Not even one player so far across these 2 maps has had a huge clutch to bring up the team and to say we have something that we can actually, you know, offer against Fnatic in these big moments. And so yeah, it feels like Fnatic are looking like they could very well snowball this against North, but we'll have to see if North can, they've got a 4 buy again now. This is a big chance for North to get on the board.
Big fat 5-0. AWP for Yugi. Maybe that can be the change they need. A smoke and Twist is not going to respect it at all. They're going to burst straight into the A-bomb site. They know North need a change. They're going to not allow them to take any decisions. Gade gets traded. Bomb needs to get collected. Twist is being picked off though. And now maybe the CTs can swarm. They might have some shadow advantage towards the Olaf Meyer's position. Up the ladder says no. JW says no rather. 3v3. Will they try and plant the bomb? There's one player on the bomb site. Brolan being very, very careful. Here's a connection. AZ on all of 3 HP, close to the smoke, soon to back off. He's looking for 2, Brolan, but with the 180, he's got to take the shot. Rotating now on his own. He's got the bomb. 1 versus 2. They have to both be on the A-bomb site. Repositioning, and that's allowed some rotation. He's still looking for a frag. There we go. Valde's been taken out. Yugi by that connector position, and Brolan continues to reposition. 3rd attempt, and he'll plant the bomb. Yugi making his way through connector. Brolan with a flash will reposition. Yugi's waiting for the cross. Brolan with a high flashbang. Will it be spotted? No, Yugi's going to eat it completely. And Brolan's gone elsewhere now, but he's lost track of Yugi at the same time. Yugi's got a better angle, it seems. He's up on the high ground. The flick from Brolan. Absolutely disgusting. 9 HP, and he keeps a clean sheet for Fnatic. How on earth did he land that?
Absolutely stunning stuff. I love the repositioning, just constantly trying to keep himself on the move so that the information that the North players had was just always bad. That is beautiful. And just throwing the flashbang up so that he eats it as well as his opponent so that he can change position so he doesn't get locked down and still hits an insane flick. What a beautiful passage of play from the likes of Brolan. Oh, wow. Okay. So, all right, James, we've had multiple different players on Fnatic in these 2 maps have crazy clutches, like big rounds. And we've yet to see that from North. They've got to start, surely they're starting to feel a little bit dejected here.
That is psychological warfare in one situation. Well, in fairness, the 2 versus 4 was, and then that even more so.
This is so awesome. A 1v3.
Great information play. Savors the kill. That was quite the adjustment. I mean, that should have been free for Yugi, surely. He got off 3, 4, 5 shots maybe.
The fact that Brolan even like repositions to plant the bomb instead of an instant plant, it's just amazing, honestly. To have the presence of mind to do that. as opposed to just taking the plant. Trying to squeeze out every single edge you can possibly find, and this is likely going to be another, well, should in theory be an easy round for Fnatic. They've managed to get an opening kill. I've seen many anti-force buys and anti-ecos from the T side go badly when they go through alley, but given that they've already gotten one kill and there's not too many players to play crossfires around that position, they're going to be fine here. And JW is even going to take a little bit of that Molotov to get position more quickly as he moves towards Helen Sandwich, as Fnatic now start to have a good way to push onto this bomb site. They're completely spread out. That means that North should be in a lot of trouble.
This smoke, they should realize that it hasn't come from their team. Gate creeping around. He's got an M4 as well. He could be dangerous. He could get two. He only sees one, though. There's a player on the bomb train. That's a lovely 180 from Gate. Makes it look easy. And now his team suddenly have a man advantage. Yugi creeping with an AWP somewhere. JW's got a very important angle, but they're missing all the angles of these CTs. I think Crims may have seen a corner of a gun, but now he's alone. 1 versus 3. An unlikely round for North to win. He's seen the player on the high ground, but he can't trade. And that is the first round on the board for North. When Kiabi made the play through Ivy, I don't know how long he was blind for, but they know at least 2 players were there, so I thought they might gamble North and try and push somebody elsewhere on a map if they thought there was a big investment towards Ivy. Didn't really happen, but they have lifted themselves from that 0, which they've been on for so long, and stolen some weapons in the process.
Yeah, that was a great round from Gade. He had a great anticipation as to the spots he had to peek at the right times, and made the most of that opportunity, and that's going to give North something. And previously talking about clutches, where you come out of a bad situation and win a round, we've just seen that. I think that was honestly, I think that's like the first one. I think that's the first one in these 2 maps that North have been able to deliver. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously they only got 2 rounds or whatever it was on the first map. And
yeah, I think it's the first clutch they've won in this series.
And if you look compared to Fnatic in this one map, just ignoring the previous map, they've had already 2 or 3 big ones. So there's Exist in JW, and then that one from Brolan. Those were huge moments.
So stealing a round in a round such as that will give them some extra money, as we've mentioned before, and maybe that helps them if they lose a round. You can see 3 of the players are on $2,500. But they will have no intention of doing that. Can they turn their fortunes around? It's still not too late. North starting with 4 players in the A bomb site. Yugi can go for the fast rotation towards B in case someone help is needed up top or even down below. And Fnatic will establish control, make sure there's no funny business, no cheeky AWP peeks towards B, but Yugi is making his way over towards the B bomb site now. He's going quite deep actually to peek from the spools, I think. Jumps up and he's completely blind. I don't think you'll see those 3 players, but Valde's in a good position. And Fnatic are exposed. However, they are the ones getting the frags, of course. Is it safe territory? Yugi is at the back of the bomb site. He'll get a second frag before that smoke pops, and he's kept his team in this round.
Yeah, he absolutely has. But things will get a bit more difficult for him as Twist takes down Gade. AZ will be playing on the high ground behind the smoke, but it comes at a certain risk. He has to drop down to try to pursue Exist on the bomb, and he's going to be successful. And that leaves only the players who are hidden upper to offer up anything here. But it might be quite difficult. You can see the Molotov is there, but the smoke goes down. So that's important. That forces the T's out. They've got to go for this. 1 second left. Can they stop it from happening? No! Oh, not quite. That was so close. I think AZ thought that they didn't get it. The reaction from him, that is crazy. That was so close.
And so needed for North. Now, I wonder what the money is like on Fnatic. It's got to be good, because they took everybody out in that round. So that could be a curse in disguise. That actually might make it easier for Fnatic to have a bigger lead at the end of this half. The fact that they lost every single player. Are they going to have shortcomings in their buy? Are they going to have the utility? They're lacking the utility, but they've got AWP. The M4s are out. Gage's down to the French gun, but they're in a good position for the most part. Looking to get aggressive in on North towards the A bomb site, towards that T-con position. Maybe to make up for the lack of utility. A pot flash. Well, at this point, they've got 0 flashes. North, they don't have a single counter flash. They've got a few smokes, 1 HE, 1 incendiary. So if they wanted to make a forward play in T-con, it's going to be very, very dangerous indeed.
He's just going to make his way forwards and Pop Dog. Well, oh no, he didn't check it quite deep enough. And that's a free one for Crims. That is absolutely not what North needed. They have very little utility here. They need this round win to get some momentum going, and they start off like that. Perhaps there can be a recovery. There's a minute to go, and it looks like Fnatic are gearing up for the split onto the A-bomb site. He will take a slightly forward position around Sandwich to cover team main. But what is this foul? They finds JW. There's no info that Ivy had been pushed. And that element of surprise is just enough to take the round.
That is a complete disaster for North. It goes from bad to worse. I feel like they maybe felt nervous around that E-box position. They had forward positions around T-Con, around Pop Dog, but they didn't have the utility to take it safely. As we mentioned, walk in. You got to look at one of the angles. You can't clear both of them properly, as we've seen. That doesn't work out for them. Then there are smokes around Ivy. There was a CT around Ivy as well, and there's got to be the concept that they could be back trains. They could be back trains. We've got Valde coming up with his knife out. No expectation. Goes down for free. Stereo frags for Fnatic, and that is the worst case scenario for North.
Yeah, Fnatic just look like they're, again, in their element at the moment, and it's very difficult to stop in that sense. So, rush of Ivy. This would be fun for Twist, I suppose, as he sees the first one. He sees all of them, and he's got a player close to help him. That's going to be Mr. JW, who's looking for some frags himself, but he's got to be careful. He's going to get dinged, and they're going to keep challenging here. There we go. Twist finally connects one.
Just run, Twist. Run away. Ooh, they're dueling him with the USP, and they haven't quite taken the rifle. So sometimes it can be... I wouldn't say it could be a good thing. I guess no. In some ways, it can be a good thing to lose a round as long as you can win the next one. So if you lose a round but you take out the entire team and they've got no money left in it, it can be quite good. So Twist trying to protect an AK has lost an AWP instead, which may be claimed back by his team if they can get there in time. But that is... You don't want the guy with the AWP isolated, because this is exactly what you don't want to happen. You don't want to give them anything in a situation like this. And that's why he's holding the weapon, or trying to, but now they've got an AWP instead, which on train could be a difference maker.
It's actually kind of crazy that they've given up this AWP.
Why aren't they hunting more? They've got like 6K on some players.
It's probably because they don't feel like they can actually trade each other because of the awkward spot that they're in. Or that they probably assume that he's in CT spawn, which means T spawn, which means that they can't trade the kill because they're not all grouped up and close to the hall's stairs, I would imagine. So there we go. It's madness, absolute madness. And for some, I'm not sure why Twist is still looking at Ivy for so very long, but either way,
it's JW's guns down.
Oh, we got a rush onto the outer bomb site, and already Crims has been lost. Ground has been gained, but players have been lost.
JW has a lot of info, but if he walks through the smoke like he might likely do, there is a player in connected behind Daisy. Because it's taken out in the meantime, and there's JW. Finally, this comes to fruition, but only good for one. He's got the information, however, and Valde knows where one of these last two players is as well. There is Twist coming out with the bomb from that Pop Dog position. Doesn't know where the last player is, it doesn't seem, but I think Yuki just rattled off a shot, and up the ladder he goes. Will he go towards the B bomb site? Will he play with his teammate? Brolan taken down for free on the A bomb site now. Maybe Twist goes slow. He's got a minute on the clock. He needs to be unpredictable. Now, if Yugi went to the Hell position, he would hear Twist running to Ivy, which is why Twist is walking. Doesn't want to give anything away for free. Now we've got Yugi at Old Bomb, where the bomb used to get planted on older versions of CS. Nice to be at the back so you can't get flanked. He's picked up an AK-47, so he's more nimble, and his timing might be perfect. Indeed it is. A much-needed third round for North. There's still money for Fnatic to buy, and North only survived with one player, so they still have the previous problems. In fact, their buy might be worse in this round.
It's kind of amusing there for me, because if you're Twist, you're surely thinking, like, why is he standing there, like, just looking at me? Like, why is that the thing that's happening right now? Either way, as you say, we do get that more or less full buy from North. I mean, honestly, UMP and MP9 on this map, totally fine if you play the positions correctly. Fnatic, though, I doubt they are lacking any confidence in trying to go for these fast plays still. And they'll send a couple players towards the Ivy position. So this is quite a default looking round from Fnatic. They've got presence basically everywhere that they could possibly have. CT's pushing team main at this point. Brolan, is he going to respond? Whoa, that's massive damage to AZ. I don't know if you'll have any idea, but that is certainly a good start for Fnatic. Kirby's been spotted, and he's seen the AWP. Now what do Fnatic decide to do? They could rotate out of IB completely, or... Okay, now losing a man upper is likely going to commit them towards A pretty quickly.
This is a very key round for North, because this is where they may put Fnatic on eco if they can win this. And the way this half was going, we could have seen like a 14-1 half. That's how it felt. But it could be a very, very different scoreline at halftime if they can win this particular round, especially without a bomb plant. We are below the minute mark, and JW is gone. Valde will flank, and this is a pretty perfect round for North at the moment. 5 versus 2 for them. We've seen him lose a 2 versus 4 though, and again it starts to get worse. 35 seconds, there's still time for Fnatic, although if they try to run towards the B bomb site, Valde will certainly hear them. He's in position, and it seems they're going to do that. But will he go up the ladder or have his teammates rotate? AZ's got the AWP, he's already in the B bomb site. Valde's got the information, he's coming in for the flank, and Kiabi is in CT spawn. There's one for AZ, can he find a second? Waiting for the cross, smart stuff. Focusing on the bomb plant, Brelan going high. Angle still being held. There goes AZ. Oh my god, it was almost 2. He's still got time to plant the bomb as well, but Valde's coming down the stairs, and that's going to be the round. 2 players survive, a 4th round for North, and maybe it's Eco Town for Fnatic.
That's kind of crazy. So Gage got flashed into Olofmeister, but he ran through the smoke and got full blinded, and I believe it was Twist maybe that was there, and he did not get blinded at all. And that was kind of an awkward moment. I was like, oh god, I hope this is not the reason they lose this round. But of course they converted it, and as you say, finally, I think for the first time in the series, we'll see Fnatic actually on the back foot. They're on some pistols, and they've only got a flashbang, and it looks like the single flashbang will be deployed by JW from the dumpsters all the way towards the outer bomb site, which will allow the T pistols to swarm in, and might need to come in right now because the fire is there, and they get to run through it slightly. Nice flick from AZ, and Yugi as well gets one. And okay, here's the scores, guys, and we're back back in the match. Not over quite yet, but Yugi styling on Twist. That's beautiful, and North will pick up their 5th round. And that is not a bad way to do it, but the buy will be back in for Fnatic, as that was, of course, just a throwaway, an eco, but eco no longer for them.
Back just in time for a nice little flick from Yugi, although it felt more like a smooth drag, but very quick. Well then, 5 rounds from out of nowhere, North have got themselves a chance in this game. Looks like it was going to be a whitewash, like there was nothing to write home about, but maybe there is. 2 rounds remain in this first half, and who knows, maybe it'll be 8-7. It seems that all of Fnatic's success has dissipated and is a distant memory now. Is he making like, this is my duck and this is my wall? I don't know. All right, we've got some little boost from number 6. What a dramatically different game we've got on our hands.
Yeah, it's turned around, and here is Yugi's anti-eco shenanigans. And see ya.
Nice.
Alrighty. Ooh, okay. So Gate's they're gonna play that setup here. This is a beautiful setup, and Valde's even there as well. This is very strong. This massively punishes pretty much anything towards these positions. It's so strong. Oftentimes you'll get teachers playing the default. Maybe like 1 or 2 players will be moving in there. They'll get decimated. If they try to rush, they'll get likely mostly decimated.
Fnatic looks to be executing straight into the A bomb site. This is a 5 versus 1.
Yeah.
Like AZ is the only person with an angle at the moment. We've got Kiabi inside Ivy. The rest of the team were having a stronghold on the B bomb site. So Fnatic move through unchallenged. 1 or 2 players spotted around connector. Fnatic have almost every choke point. If they smoke off Ivy, then this is going to be a very interesting game for North to try and bring back. Gade and Valde taken out. We still have Kiabi inside Ivy, starting to creep up now, but Brelan's going to take him out. No answer to any of these frags. Just the wrong move at the wrong time. North out of position on the B bomb site.
Yeah, it's really amazing that I wonder if Fnatic had any read for that, or what motivated them to go for that timing. Because as you say, the North setup towards B is extremely strong, but obviously the weakness lies in that it has to be that they go into that position, because otherwise A is completely open, and then you can lose the round off of it. So that's unfortunately for North what happened, and it's got to feel for North as though just nothing's going right for them in this series so far. And Fnatic, you can count on them having a very strong CT side as well on this map. So the fact that they've had so much success on this T side is very worrying if you're a North fan. And it's going to be one very happy coach, Mr. Jumpy, in the back there. Crims with the stroke of the beard. I shaved off my beard, and I have like phantom beard. Sometimes I go to stroke it, and I'm like, oh, it's not there anymore.
Crikey, so people who lost a limb and they've still got the nerves
Yeah.
saying the limb is there.
It's a weird one.
Which must be psychologically harrowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was I going to say? It was actually, I guess it's more appropriate to say it was the right move at the wrong time rather than the wrong move at the wrong time. Because it was a pretty cool setup they had. I'm not sure if the guy who was on the ledge in the ramp was going to play anti-flash or if he was going to face and eat it, and then I think Valde would pop out from the top. Either way, we've got the tactical pause from North at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those spots where also you're playing the CT side, so there's only so much you can do insofar as kind of the setups that you want to run. But Fnatic haven't really been playing anything too predictable, which has been actually quite cool. And North will start with 4 players on A, leaving Yugi alone towards B with the smoke there to help him hold things off and slow things down. And, you know, with that smoke, you know, it could be that there's a CT behind there or 2. So Fnatic, you know, they've got to be really careful, because if there is a CT behind there, they've got full information that Fnatic are not going towards B, which is a problem for Fnatic. So you often want to wait that smoke out, but you know what? This is the other option. Just run into A. Just go for it. Get it done. But it will likely be North getting it done here, as this start is really effective. Just Twist and Exist left in this 2 versus 3. And a flash deep there, perhaps for Twist to go for the push, or Exist rather, but Twist will go down in the meanwhile. He's got the bomb though, and he can do the old runaround, James.
Yeah, but he's given some sound cues away, and we've got Yugi starting to rotate, so maybe he has an idea. Kiabi moving to the pop dog position, and now all is known. Where does he choose to defend from? Against 3 players, middle of the site might be hard, but he maybe has a few options to jiggle. Moving now to the ramp. Just needs to catch the first player off guard and try and get information on the remainder. Kiabi's timing will surely be with his teammates. Just walking up the wide peak. Now the other 2, they know where he is. He's got no nades. The molly will force him forward. Will he pick the right angle? It seems like he will. Down to default now. That bomb is very far ticked, and both these players have a kit, but it's going to be a gamble defuse at the very end. Lovely jiggling from Exist, but he can't find a frag on AZ, and it looks like it will be a 6th round for North. Much closer at half-time than we might have expected. I think we were expecting 1 or 2 rounds for North, but 6 is fantastic, and it's close as we move into the break.
Welcome back. So North have managed to find some form of a recovery in the name of 6 rounds on their first half. It looked unlikely, but they pulled it through. However, it still will be very difficult to come back in this series. Fnatic, of course, winning the first map, Nuke 16-2. And they look like they're in form right now, and they're moving into the CT side of the train, which means that, for me at least, I would expect Fnatic to have an easier time of things on that CT side. They're quite comfortable there.
Yeah, what a different game we have on our hands. And maybe it's the road to recovery for North. They are a map down in this best-of-3 series, and it looked like they were down and out, but 1 round made all the difference. And here they are, just 3 rounds behind now, and that can all change in the pistol. Fnatic enjoying plenty of success. Taking their momentum from the first map through to the first half, but again, that's all gone. Very, very different situation we have on our hands at the moment. But the fist on the face, not good body language there, so maybe they feel like they're still on the back foot. And in some ways they are. Fnatic have looked a much stronger team, but for the most part, North haven't really been allowed an opportunity by Fnatic to show us what state they're in or what they can do. Maybe they can take the game into their own hands now. CT train. Sorry, T-Train. Maybe. These choke points are pretty tight, so their executes will have to be solid.
It certainly will. And Fnatic, if they start off with the pistol victory, I feel like they're going to carry through so much momentum.
We've got double raid boss P250 again from both teams now.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. It looks like a B-rush is a foot twist. Oh, has he got an HE? He has. Oh, this could be awesome. He understands they're not just running straight in, though, so he's going to save it. Now, that could be critical. We'll have to see if he can get some good damage with that. There's a good one, actually, from a teammate that will leave Gate very weak.
Yes.
Oh, here it goes. It could be massive. It's not quite as massive as you'd like to see, but it's good enough. More damage will be done by Brolan's USP. What the nades failed to do, the USPs can, as Yugi tries to go for the wrap, but surely he's going to be wrapped as well. And there it is, JW from the back as now he tries to reposition to find his way around the side of the train to keep the pressure up. But everybody's getting weak here, and everybody's getting taken down except Exist for Fnatic. So it's looking good for North. They should be able to hold on.
Should, but it is a pistol round, and both these players are in the red. Exist has a kit as well. He just needs to find the right angle first. He's been spotted by Jiggle from AZ. Gets 1 versus 1 of Kiabi, but Kiabi lands a shot first, and that is a wrap. That's the pistol round North needed. That was so close when it was 3-on-3. It was so close, the damage taken by the players. The setups from Fnatic, the HEs, that really could have gone either way. That was on a knife edge, and it was with North, who've been playing on a knife edge for, it seems, this entire series so far. Now we have a force buy from Fnatic, triple scouts from Fnatic, and they've got a fair amount of utility behind it as well. North looking for a fast play into the A-bomb site, but where are the scouts going? There are 4 players on the A-bomb site. This could be a catastrophe, but they won't go through the choke point just yet.
Oh, they're going back to Ivy, but I wonder, there's both Crims and JW there with the scouts. Now, there's plenty of utility here to shut this down for North. But if North start throwing utility down Ivy, it's going to allow Fnatic to have a better expectation as to where the bulk of North's players will be. And they still have 4 towards the A bomb site, and they've got no reason necessarily to go towards B just yet. And that's only going to further confirm that. And that's a tag onto Kirby, so he's now down to 12 HP. I fear the worst for North here. This is so tense. They will be... Are they going to fall back here out of Ivy? Will they wait it out, that smoke? I don't think they want to wait that smoke out, and indeed they will change the pace. Looks like they're running towards the halls now, and of course, Brolan is in the pop dog position, so if they run, he might be able to, he's going to be able to hear this. He's going to hear the rotation. They hear it. They're going to rotate preemptively. This could be too much in the way of sound cues. We'll have to see.
Yeah, Brolan's got the cues, and we have Crims and Twist making their way over now. So here are the scouts, and Exist up close to the CZ75. Good for the one shot. Brolan with the MP9s causing problems as well, and Crims is still just waiting for an opportunity. And Brolan is wiping everybody out in the meantime, leaving Yugi, the bomb planter, alone, starting to cross for free somehow. Everybody's here, all 3 scouts, but maybe the smoke gave him a chance. Now they can delay this defuse and pick up some better weapons, get rid of some of these scouts. Only 1 player taken out by North.
Now, I think that's very telling, that round, because we see that. So North had the round dictated to them, and as opposed to the other way around, like them going back towards B, you could see the fact that, like, you never want to just run through the halls like that, because of course that was what killed them in that round, because they gave the information away, because they had no presence really on the map, except for that Ivy pressure. And then that allowed Fnatic to get some deeper positions. So and the fact that Fnatic throw 1 smoke, and then North are like, okay, we full rotate towards halls and B now, and give up the sound cues to do so. It seems to me like they didn't quite have themselves a plan. You have to force your will on those rounds and do it with utility and team play. And now look at Fnatic. They are standing with 2 AKs, a Galil, an AWP, and a Scout. if North can't win this pistol, then Fnatic's momentum and money is going to be out of control.
Not quite. Not quite on the mark. Exist is going to have a lot of challenge very, very shortly. He's got Twist on the high ground, but I'm sure some flashbangs will be on the way. There won't be any more time for grenades from these boys. There's a fadeaway flashbang as Exist tries to use the range. Not quite covering the cross though, covering the sidewalk instead. Seems to be a smart decision. Stops Kirby from getting close. He's taken out, but that gun will be hard to retrieve. We do have Yugi moving forward to the other side of Oil. Twist holding angles, and he is rewarded in kind. Now is Yugi ready if the left side is checked? JW will take him out, and it's Gade and AZ. AZ's got himself an AK-47. Gade moving down with a CZ-75. They have a big challenge ahead of them. Look how close Yugi is. Gade is gone, and it's AZ versus 4. Gets the 1 versus 1. He's got so much to do. He's got 2 players behind him. The smoke is up. That might actually help him. Tries to jump around, but he'll be denied by the scout. That scout will get an upgrade, I'm sure. And there's 11 rounds for Fnatic.
I really liked how Exist played his angles, the way that he fell back into a spot where he's getting pushed by a guy on sidewalk, but he's isolated that 1v1, then takes another one. And I think he was very unlucky not to get that second kill. So good work from North to get the plant and some damage, but ultimately Fnatic win the round and their economy will grow. And not too much, given losing a couple players. But it'll be a full eco here now for North, and 3 HEs is what they have to work with, as well as some PT50s. There are some pre-nades there for Fnatic to stop any outside shenanigans early on, and we'll see the same from North as we saw on Nuke. Oh, sorry, on the last half of this map, where they just all rush together in one position.
JW spotting. There's a double pick. You've got to be careful. Oh, he's in for a nasty surprise. Kirby's going to be beyond the Molotov. That might just help him. Tight choke point, 3-man spray down. Looking to make it 4. AZ will trade, however. Crims can barely see him through the flames. Funny how that works. Yeah. Even harder with a scope like an AWP or something. But anyway, they survive a weak test. The best North could offer in that round because they are saving for this round. Yugi with the AWP. Double Krieg, double AK. Plenty of utility. But Yugi's naked. Doesn't have the money for Kevlar, but he's got money for a smoke.
Kirby only 6 for 15 at the moment, not having a best of times. And Fnatic will continue with some of the pre-nades as you expect to slow things down outside, but Valde will get to Olafmeister quickly. Kirby as well, waiting. Oh no, that is so disappointing for Kirby. JW turning around and slapping him in the face. And now it's the 3 versus 5, and JW was threatening the flank there. He's going to fall back to Ivy, but they don't know that. They have to push forwards because they think that the flank could be afoot. And now it's just down to AZ alone, and he's going to get one straight in the face. Oh man, nothing can go right for North in this one.
No, doesn't seem like anything can. But if you're a Fnatic fan, this is looking pretty damn good. It's a great way to start the day, or finish the day rather, for Fnatic. I suppose a bit of both. Hailing from Sweden, one of the biggest brands in Counter-Strike, the most storied brands, in a very good position at the moment. See the odds widening now. They were pretty close at the beginning of this series, but it seems that North are moving away, and not in a good direction either.
Yeah, that's for sure. They've had some good opportunities, but ultimately Fnatic just imposed their will on the server a bit better than them and looks so comfortable. Right from the get-go in this series, it's never looked like there's been a spot where Fnatic are unsure or have been in a position where they've been thrown away from their game plan. Obviously, that's one of the names of the game, is to put your opponent in a situation where they have to make some really hard choices, where they have to play outside of what they, the way that they want to play the game. And that's not really been the case for Fnatic. They look comfortable. Got the slippers on, and right now their economy is looking like it's going to be out of control for sure after this round, unless North are able to get a couple kills, and they'll move their way to the B-bomb sites to do so.
Exist ready with the Molotov. Does he throw if Twist takes a shot, or if Twist says throw? There's a shot, there's a Molotov, there's your answer. They start to move back a little bit. They know that this is a middling round for North, so they will use range. They don't want him to swarm and take an AWP away, or any other weapon for that matter. Molotov to stop them advancing as opposed to stop them planting. Another missed shot, and he's got to fall back. Now the smokes will isolate some of these Fnatic players and allow North to get further into this bomb site. So this could be a difficult hold for Fnatic. The bomb, though, hasn't... Oh, it has been planted, actually. But JW is in such a precarious position. There's a gratis one. How did he get a second frag out of that? Yugi alone, and not for very long. He'll join his teammates soon enough. Only one person lost somehow for Fnatic, despite all those inroads made by North. It's just like, whose idea are these things, man? That's nasty. North, with half the score of their opponent, 2 rounds away from losing this series.
That would be such a crazy upset, in my opinion. Well, I guess I shouldn't say upset, but I should say, well, for North to lose 16-2 and then let's say 16-7, that would be upsetting at least. So for many people, and I feel not representative of the skill that North have, but they are a bit inconsistent. That has been an issue for them. Either way, double ups will continue here for Fnatic. They've been working out really well, and it's always so fun to watch, you know, the likes of JW when he's very confident. North moving through the halls here. I wonder if they're looking to put some pressure on B. There's no one in Pop Dog for Fnatic, but they will hear the movements as there's lots of running, and they are close to E-Box. And indeed, now Crims has decided to push into team main. So Fnatic have a lot of real estate at this point and information. However, they're not rotating anybody else to help out B just yet, so perhaps they don't have as much information as I think.
Some presence shown by North towards the A-bomb site. Falde flashing, and that's going to pull a 4th player in, but they'll quickly start rotating back towards B-bomb site. They've been sold a fake, they realize they didn't want a refund. Making their way into the B-bomb site are Twist and JW. Exist loses his duel though, so it's awkward for the other 2 snipers, unless North take the wrong angle. Not happening at the moment. Gade not showing, maybe waiting for some footsteps. Fnatic don't really have position unless Crims can do something on this flank, but it doesn't seem like he wants any part of this. So it seems they will accept that they have been outmaneuvered in this round and limit their losses, Fnatic, and start to move away.
Yeah, this is great to see, just because the lead is not just, you know, obviously...
it's not insurmountable.
It's like you can use your lead as security. Like, do you need to win a round at this moment? No, you don't. So if the probabilities don't seem favorable to you, you know, don't take that 20 or 30% chance, especially obviously if you can't have the optimal buy in the following round. I mean, the implied odds of you winning a round is greater if you make decisions like that, and you have those, you know, you have rounds to play with. So they're gonna, you know, be able to have more gun rounds, like proper gun rounds, by doing this. Then do it, and you need to win too. So make sure that you go into as many rounds as possible with the best chances as possible. And here we go. Probably making his way towards E-Box and perhaps Pop Dog as the very aggressive T-Smoke goes down towards E-Box straight away, and they'll try to run out behind that, and there comes the trade, and Gade's done a good job as well.
They need more, North. They need more. There's still Ivy control for Fnatic for the time being with Crims, and he'll still hold on to it. But that's one of the 2 players known, which is a lot of information for North, and they are rotating into the B-bomb site, led by AZ, waving the flag for his high-vis vest tourist teammates to make their way in as well. Twist round the back. So is Crims, playing the more or less unflankable positions, at least in this vacuum. And the bomb is planted, elevated on default. There is a Molotov for North. Oh, Crims is really paranoid about that connector position, but maybe his elevation will allow him to take out AZ if he doesn't get challenged beforehand, but he will. So now AZ knows where he is. We'll try to catch him with a grenade in his hand. Doesn't quite hit the mark there. Twist still alive somehow, 7 HP. And surely this is the end of the line. He's 1 versus 2, 1 in front, 1 behind. He's got no grenades, he's got no health either. Or AWP, another round in the bag for North.
Okay, so we'll see the money situation in a moment and figure out where that's left Fnatic. But first we can check in on the kills. Kirby's still actually only on 6. He has not really. I'm not sure if he's even had a frag in this half. It's been a rough game for him so far. We actually were bigging him up a little bit, saying that he has had somewhat of a return to some form in North recently. But you can see that Fnatic still have enough money for a full buy, which is good to see. And in part that's because they didn't go and force the issue on B earlier when we were talking about the fact that they have such a lead. They don't need to rush things. And it's just waiting for more information there by PopDog. And we do have both Twist with the AWP and Exist with the M4 on B, so a more formidable defense can be offered than the previous round, and it's going to be required.
It's a nice position to avoid the flashbangs from the lower side, this angle. Will there be a HE? I don't think so. In fact, there's no HE for Fnatic whatsoever. Would have been interesting if one was thrown, but here we are. AZ looking for a quick drop. No grenades being held just yet, just waiting for a peek, it seems. But they've got no information. There's no presence for them to show towards A, and here they start to come. Avoiding the flashbang Exist over the top, but only good for one frag. I think he may have seen the bomb Twist. If he gets up, he may see Gade and swat him out of the sky. 3 versus 4 now in favor of Fnatic as they see Valde trying to make his way towards the oil position. They know where one of the players is. He goes down very quickly indeed, leaving Kiabi alone. His legs are spotted, and there's just not much to say. They've got one frag, they've planted the bomb, and then they've been absolutely torn to pieces, like they've climbed into a line enclosure. Yeah,
and I have to say, I feel like Exist has been playing, I feel like he's been playing a lot of spots where I actually, every single time, I'm like, he's going to get one more than he does, which to me suggests that he's obviously playing good angles, but obviously you can't always hit every shot. But I've been enjoying watching Exist. Despite not having crazy amounts of frags, I think he's doing a really good job on that B-bomb side as the rifle anchor. And Twist also really good maneuver there to take down Gade. It's been good to watch Fnatic feeling in form in this game, but for North it seems to be the opposite case. They're struggling here, and now this could be the end of the line for them in this best of 3. JW watches, waits patiently for the push here from Ivy, and he's going to be flashed, and there's not too much he can do about that. It's got to be respecting those, that utility and fall back.
Oh, he's not ready. He doesn't realize somebody's beyond the flames already, but now he does. An exchange of grenades is crucial information for JW. Otherwise, he may have gone down there. Crim's going to go down to the trade. JW punishing. There's a gap in the smoke, and everything is falling to pieces for North. 2 versus 4. JW through the smoke, of course. Not quite going to work out on this occasion, but there's still so much for Kiabi to do, and he can't do it. Gade being shot at before they even know where he is. Creeping forward. He has fired some shots, and he's going to walk into his doom and the doom of North in this series. Fnatic with a standout performance in this series, 2-0ing North.
Yeah, this looks really comfortable. I mean, I don't think you can honestly say there was any spots where Fnatic were really pushed. Obviously, North were able to win some really good rounds here or there on this second map, but ultimately, again, as I mentioned before, Fnatic never looked uncomfortable. They always looked like they were cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, it was a really good performance from JW and co. A promising performance for Fnatic again. Their results, their recent results, coming into this tournament have not been spectacular by any means. They've been underwhelming. They've been less than you'd want as a fan of Fnatic, basically. But that is a great way to start off. And North, I think, were maybe one of the favorites or one of the more promising ones that we've seen. But that is not really the start they wanted. I don't think they really showed much of anything. And partly, I mean, Fnatic, credits to them on the CT side of Mirage. They were aggressive. They took the game away in particular rounds. But there was rarely often an answer from North.
That's very true. It seemed like quite a struggle. I'm curious what what they'll be saying when they watch the demos over. But it is time for an interview. Sue's down on the stage.
Sue.
Thank you very much, as always, guys. Congratulations, JW. With this win, you guys are advancing in first place to the playoffs, and especially in the context of the recent results you guys have had at the different events that you've been at, with struggling a little bit with the group stage. It has to feel like a huge relief to do the opposite here and move on in first place.
Yeah, of course. Going into this tournament, I mean, last tournament in Cologne, of course, it was a pretty disappointing exit, but still we lost against Astralis, and then we played double overtime against Vitality, which ended up second place. So that tournament, even though it was a very, very disappointing result, like those kind of teams are not here. So if we would manage to play the same level we did there, I think we would advance here. So yeah, it's a great feeling that we're actually playing up to our level, but it's far from over.
Indeed, and just as you said, you were able to show that level of performance today because it was honestly such a clean victory from you guys. I want to start with the map veto first. You know, were the map choices as you guys had expected?
Yeah, pretty much. We were not that sure if they would let us pick train, but they did in the end. So yeah, it went pretty much as we expected, I would say.
Then let's talk about Nuke at first. It was their map pick, and yet it didn't appear that way because it was so dominant from you guys. So talk about that map and how comfortable you guys are on it.
I would say we're as comfortable on that map as any other map. Like, if we get a good start and if we play our own game, we could beat any team. But on the other hand, we could also lose to any team as it is right now. But after all, it is Nuke. We start CT side. It's very hard to play as terrorists, and if they don't manage to get our economy bad, and if we keep winning consecutive rounds, it's really hard to break through. So yeah, it's Nuke after all.
And then with that train pick, did everything go there as expected as well?
Yeah, I think maybe on the terrorist side we started to try to play a bit too much on our momentum, but I don't blame us for that. I mean, we had a really good start, we had great momentum, so of course we should try to ride on that. Maybe it bite us in some rounds, but overall I think we played very good.
I talked a little bit with Exist earlier about this, but you know, Fnatic, when you guys are playing well, you guys look so good as you showed us today. But it's those moments where things start to fall apart that you start to struggle a bit. So, coming into the rest of this tournament in the playoffs, you know, what do you think you have to look out for?
I think we just have to focus on ourselves, play our own game, like keep doing our things. Don't think too much about the circumstances, who we play. Just go in, play our game, and try to have fun. Be a bit relaxed, because sometimes we get too stiff when we go into these kind of tournaments. But in the end, it's Counter-Strike. Play computer games. It's supposed to be fun, you know. It can't be. You can't sit there and take it that serious and think that if you lose this round, you're gonna be done for life. You know, you need to have a laugh sometimes. I think that's the most important thing, to focus on enjoying the game, enjoying the moment, and play our own game.
Well, you guys certainly look like you were enjoying yourself today. Congratulations once again. And with that, Fnatic will be moving on in first place, securing their spot in the playoffs.
Already, that's 2 for Fnatic and 2 more needed to get themselves into the Challenger stage. 2 more best of 3 victories necessary, and it's quite a fantastic result for the Swedes. We said that they were this thermometer. Sometimes they are right at the tippy top, sometimes deep down in the depths of despair. Not this time.
A bit of a history lesson here. I remember, like, way back in 2015, actually, the JW was talking about having fun again, and not being too stiff. Kind of reminds me of NIP in 2015. When the team was supposed to be done at one point, right? Like at the end of the year.
Yeah, and Dubai.
And then they went to Dubai, for example. There was a couple of tournaments they went to where they were playing really well. And what they were saying was, they were not taking it too seriously, just having a lot of fun. So, might be a lesson learned from Exist, kind of applying good old stuff from way back when.
So it's a tiresome phrase, play our own game, Matthew, but it's been discussed. It does make sense, playing your own game.
Yeah, you don't really know what to put behind that
vague,
phrase that everyone uses. It's basically, I think the translation of that is, we are not going to create something specifically for our opponent. We're just going to do what we do and maybe pick. But as we can see here on the screen, for me, the key was the individuals. They showed up big time. Twist, JW, Broland here, Crims as well. 4 players out of the 5 best in this map are for Fnatic, so it paints the picture. And we started this day and this event with questions in regards to Fnatic. I personally had a lot. Yeah. What kind of phase are we going to see? We know they were struggling, but man, did they show up today.
Twist, I mean, was it you that took to Twitter with that? That is a performance. If he could replicate that regularly, Fnatic would be a top contender.
But that's the key. This is exactly, that's the key here. If he could do that regularly, and yes, for... I'm not gonna.
Maybe not 17 kills to 3 deaths.
No,
I mean, I'm not expecting that every time. But
I feel like there's a lot of players we could put in that same box, right?
Yeah.
If only they could. But at the same time, you have to kind of say, North dropping the ball early parts of this map. They lost a 4-2. They lost a 3-1 after having that horrible nuke. Obviously, that's gonna eat your confidence.
Yeah, we saw lots of evidence of lost confidence. No absence of it for the Swedes, though. This momentum they were talking about, you could see there was some confidence in their players.
There was some confiance, yeah, indeed. And
cheeky smile there from Twist.
I mean, was that when he was getting chased by USPs? I remember that round.
It's nice to see him smile, and as we can see, here having the impact now.
Because we've seen him rage, too.
Yeah, we have seen them. But honestly, the key to me was these first rounds, the ones you were mentioning, the 4 versus 2 that North drops, and then the 1v3 from Broland. It's very easy to rewrite history and say what if, but when you start on a T side of train and you win these cans around, suddenly the economy goes your way. Your opponent doesn't have the AWP, frustrations start to settle in, and you end up in a 9-6 half on the T side. So at this point, Fnatic had done enough.
They really did. Broland's clutch as well. He got flashed just as he was lining up on that connector guy. It could have gone so wrong so quick, and yet the heroics from him. I mean, there was more than one moment. You could probably count on 2 hands the heroics from Broland.
Well, question marks for North though, going further in this tournament, right? I mean, we discussed about them before, how trying to build this foundation of playing good Counter-Strike, off of each other, reacting well. Very, very lackluster from them at the end of the day, especially on Nuke. I mean, we expected much more from them. Very one-dimensional, not really changing things up once they were not working out. Then the second map, you can kind of, it's one of those things where you just have a couple of bad moments, and it's going to take a miracle for you to have the backbone to sustain those kind of blows that we were getting.
What are your primary criticisms of North that you've seen today?
First of all, I think that in Chaos they reacted. I mean, they didn't show the lucidity that I would hope for a team like that in Chaos, right? We have seen it on Train times and times again, where 3 versus 3, yes, situation is hard to handle, but you're supposed to be able to do it.
Right.
Communication, routine principles, you know how to handle these situations. And Fnatic was always getting the better of them. So that can happen at this level. Absolutely not at the major, but even here, it's not going to be easy to qualify.
Felt to me that out of these 2 teams, Fnatic was the one that were taking initiative. Individuals were taking initiative and grasping on opportunities that were given to them.
Sure.
North was kind of on a leash, kind of playing by what Fnatic was doing, a lot of those small
being
situations.
dictated to as opposed to dictating. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Well, we do have a recap of the day. We've had quite a fantastic day here at the European Minor, and of course, let's not forget, we've had back-to-back minors. North America was this morning. You can see the results there. I say North America, let me get this right. The Americas, because of course a whole lot of a South American presence here. Furia versus INTZ, a big upset to start the day, and it just continued. I mean, look at this. Luminosity, what a story for them. Not only did they beat United, but they had such a huge game versus INTZ. And that was a hype best of 3.
They should have won that one, actually. I feel like, Fels was having a great day, actually. He had over 30 kills in the first game. Great to see. He departs from MIBR and back to Luminosity, and, he's looking great. But INTZ, in the end of the day, managed to grasp that one.
And they were so loud.
Ooh, the passion.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you tweeted you got a little scared. I too. I too got a little scared, like the shouting and
should I be
didn't
looking
really
for
know
the
what
exit?
to do. Like that was so insane, the passion. But this is how it is for them in Counter-Strike.
It is.
That's a lot of results here. Passion, clearly. And we also see Frigga, not a good start, dropping goal 13-16. But the format is still forgiven in the sense that you can drop that first best of 1, and then tomorrow or the day after you're going to have a best of 3 to come back. If you're meant to go through the playoff, you will have the opportunity.
Yeah, and of course that best of 3 did conclude 2-0.